to the Live Lounge. Man, it's so great to have you guys. Massive welcome to you. My name is Warren.
And I'm Rebecca. So good to have you guys here.
Yeah, it's awesome. And happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to you.
Thank you.
I heard you got a bit of a spoil this morning.
I did. Actually got breakfast and coffee, so it was really nice.
That's nice.
Yeah.
What did they make for breakfast?
And I got this, my pantofos. I think it's, yeah.
It wouldn't be church wherever you are unless you are allowed to wear slippers.
Exactly.
Let's be honest, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's good, man.
Your
Well, good
mom
to have
isn't
you.
around, so...
Yeah, my mom and I are actually having a Zoom call a little bit
Nice.
later, so excited about that. Yeah. Are you going to see your mom?
Probably, but she is not 5 hours behind, so...
Oh, okay. So it'll be a little bit later.
Yeah.
Nice, man. That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, it's really good to have you guys, and we would love for you to comment. Tell us where you're watching from, what your name is, so we can hang out a little bit. And we're going to have a bit of fun this morning, now until 9 o'clock. And then at 9 o'clock, our church, wherever you are, experience is going to start. We've got Gareth preaching.
Yeah.
We've got some great worship. And afterwards, in our live lounge, we're going to make a 1-minute microwave cupcake.
Because tomorrow is also Warren's birthday, so we're already celebrating.
With a 1-minute cake in a cup.
Yeah.
Right? You want some coffee?
Oh yeah, I still have a little bit.
Do you? I
Yeah.
want to have some coffee. So comment and tell us what you did for your mom today on Mother's Day, or if you're a mom, what happened with your kids? Did they make you breakfast? What did they make? Any cute notes or something like that? Let us know.
I did ask for my kids not to give me handmade presents, and they did obey me, which is amazing.
Why did you want handmade presents?
Because there's so many toilet paper rolls in the whole house, so I don't want another just like rubbish. So yeah.
That's awesome, man. Really cool. So comments are going to be coming through in a second, but really cool to have all of you guys. Let's take a look here. Yeah, so that stuff's all coming through. But man, it's really cool to have you guys. So let us know, yeah, what is happening in your Mother's Day experience today. And we're super excited for church today. We're excited for Gareth to preach. It's going to be good. And how did you find Wednesday night?
It was really cool.
What happened? Let the people
So
know.
we actually had the teaching through Philippians with Donnie, so Uncle Donnie. Don't call him that, please. And it is really helpful, and we are doing it again this week on Wednesday. So at 6 o'clock.
Yeah, at 6
right?
o'clock, right here.
And we also had breaking bread together, which was really cool with the Unites. So
Yeah.
it was fun.
Man, we had a lot of good times. It was
Yeah.
really cool. We're having Mel Pile saying, hello family. Great to see you, Mel. And Keith, good to see you as well, man.
Yeah.
Good morning. Ruan, how's it, gang?
Only a South African would be able to read with that accent.
What would you read there? How's it, gang?
How's it, gang?
That's awesome. Those are all from ChurchOnline. It's really good to have you guys. If you would love the best experience, you can head to urbanlife.org.za, and that's where you can find our ChurchOnline link. And there we've got like a Bible, we can take notes.
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of things that you can do with our ChurchOnline platform, which has been really cool in this season to figure out.
Also, we would love to encourage you guys to invite your world. Send them a WhatsApp. There's still some time for them to join our experience today. So yeah, invite people.
Yeah, really excited, man. Cool. So let's see who else is coming through.
Liam handmade prezzies are the best. Okay, if you think so.
Let us know what those handmade presents were. That'll be great.
Kevin made breakfast. Yeah, he did with the kids.
That's awesome.
I'm making crumpets for myself. That's good too. That's good
Crumpets
too.
for yourself is always a winner. We had so many positive comments from our pancake making last week. I feel like we're going to be the new chefs of Urban Life, even though we both, I'm not very qualified in chefing.
I don't cook at home.
Okay. But we're having fun. I'm really excited for that microwave cake. We're going to make peanut butter and chocolate. What are you going to put in yours?
Apparently there's some Nutella around, so I might add some Nutella.
Nice. Yeah. That's going to be really cool.
Kids made brekkie and they are watching Ignite at home now. Yeah, so you still can tune in for Ignite.
Yeah. And that's Mal Pile from ChurchOnline. So yeah, if you want to check out Ignite, that's our kids program, you can head to urbanlife.org.za and everything is available there. There's some special Mother's Day missions in there that moms, you are going to love. So make sure they're tuning in for that. It's all at urbanlife.org.za.
Today was also, we're going to be able to watch the winners from last week, which is really fun.
From the spy video.
Yeah.
Let people know what that is.
So last week, Ignite had a competition and you had to send your homemade video with spies, and it was actually really creative.
It was fun to watch.
And the winner, I think they did win, right?
Yes.
Because it was good.
We'll announce later.
Yeah, it's surprise, surprise. But it is good.
That's awesome. We've got Andy saying hi. Good to see you, Andy. Mel is saying Happy Mother's Day, Mama Bear. That's great. Happy Mother's Day to Mel's mom. Megan, Happy Mother's Day. Derek, morning all. Good to see you guys, man.
Yeah.
Really cool.
Anyone new here?
Yeah, let us know if you're new. If you're here for the first time,
let us know.
You are our special guest today.
Yeah.
And welcome to our live lounge. It's great to have you guys, man.
The bear say hi too.
If you got your slippers on, tell us as well. I don't have slippers today. I've got the normal shoes. Rocking those guys.
Okay.
All coming through. So we've got a competition happening today. Actually, do you want to tell us a little bit about that, Bex?
Yes, so we want to know if you have any stories about your mum, mostly an embarrassing one, please. And we're going to vote for the best mum fail embarrassing story. And at the end, we're going to announce it. And if you win, something is going to arrive at your door.
Yeah, we're going to send you a special pack if you win. So comment right now, and throughout the whole meeting, we'll be checking out comments and tell us what is your biggest mom fail, funny stories, or even your mom's biggest mom fail.
Just needs to include a mum in the story, and then you're good.
Do you have one offhand?
My mom is really funny.
Okay.
So
she's Brazilian, by the way.
She's Brazilian. And she actually breaks everything she gets. So my dad always gives her presents, so he's a present guy. Mm-hmm. And then there was one day he gave her a brand new watch. And then at the end of the day, the entire watch was broken already because she just bumped and it just did. And then we literally asked Mom, what time is it? And there was no more watch.
Oops.
And it was hilarious, because it was not even 24 hours and it was gone.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. And
that's
you?
So funny. I don't know if I have one offhand. My mom does some funny stuff. She's awesome. She loves to talk a lot, really a lot. So my mom will send 1 hour voice notes.
Wow.
Yeah, literally 1 hour. So we have to carve time out of our day to listen. Yeah. Mom, I love you. Thank you. Thank you for sharing them. But they're really long, so there's that thing. I think a big fail for me as a teenager is I would be sleeping, and obviously teenagers in holidays, you want to sleep till 10. I mean, teenagers, you guys are...
12.
Yeah, 12 at least, that's early as 10. And my mom would come into my room while I'm sleeping and sit on my bed and then just start talking to me like I was awake. She's like, the other day, she starts talking, I'm like, what? What is even happening?
She just wanted to be listened to.
Yeah, she's just I'm here to talk.
That's cool.
So that was really cool. Love that about her.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. Hey, we've got some more people tuning in. That's great.
Chantal Fisher, morning. Stephanie, hello from South Korea.
Hey.
What time is in South Korea at the moment?
I don't know. I've left my South Korea watch at home.
Yeah.
Yeah. But great to have you. That's really awesome. And Mandy Mai, awesome. Welcome to you. Irene Schipper. Good morning, Irene.
Yeah, Leslie. Hi guys, what a lekker day. Did you like my lekker?
Lekker, yeah. Your South African is coming along, eh?
Ach, nee, man.
Warren is saying, hi, always great being in fellowship with you all. Happy Mother's Day to our moms in the house. That's awesome. Great to see you. And Chantal Fisher, good morning to you. Great to have you as well.
First time. Oh, we have a first timer.
Megan.
With
and Marilyn.
And you're wearing slippers. Great to have you here.
Man, it's so good to have you guys. Huge welcome to you. We're going to get started in about a minute actually with our Church Online, wherever you're at, our church experience. We're really excited for it. Renee is also coming through on Facebook, and she is saying, good morning, Urban Life. Happy Mother's Day to all the beautiful mommies.
Yeah.
That's brilliant, man. So just a reminder again about our competition. If you have a mom fail story or a funny mom story, you can comment it throughout the meeting. We'll be checking them out. And at the end, we'll be announcing a winner for the funniest mom fail. And we'll then send you a prize.
Yeah.
If you are the one that commented that, we'll get in touch with you.
And it's going to be a safe prize, don't worry. All of the safety things will happen.
Yeah. And so you're a small business owner. Yeah. What are we doing as Urban Life for our business people at the moment?
So we have a WhatsApp group called the Business Collective.
Okay.
And it's a great group for information about what's happening. There's a lot of confusion out there. So it's a great place to get some clarity and also some support. I think this time we have to support each other.
Come on, yeah.
So You can join, there's a link on urbanlifechurch.org.za.
That's it. Just head to our website.
Yeah, you can pretty much find anything on our website.
Yeah, if all else fails,
Go to the website.
urbanlife.org.za is
Yeah.
the place to go. It's right there, urbanlife.org.za.
Also, it's time to start church.
Yeah, we're actually really excited. So we are going to have our church wherever you are experience starting now.
Yeah.
We've got a countdown that's going to play so you can get up, stretch your legs, and then we'll be right back to welcome you for our online experience. We'll see you guys there.
Yeah, bye.
Enjoy it.
Hey there, welcome to Church Online. My name is Wanga and it's so awesome to have you here. Join us. To all the mothers out there, we just want to say Happy Mother's Day. We love you guys so much.
That's awesome. Yeah, and my name is Warren. And the thing I love about the church is that we are a people, not a place. And it's so cool that we get to meet wherever you are and we get to have a church experience all across our city and all across the world this morning. So it's so great to have you guys. Welcome.
Yeah, awesome. And we just want you to make the most of this moment. And so we just want to encourage you that you engage in the comments, in the chat section, That is how you're going to get the best experience. This is not just about us broadcasting stuff. It's about being part of the community. So make sure you're on the link, on the chats down below and chatting with us.
Yeah, come on. And if you are a guest with us, a massive welcome to you. If this is maybe your first or your second time, we want to say welcome home. And we are trusting that this would be a place where you can belong and where you can find community like never before. And hey, there's still time for you to invite someone to join you this morning.
Yeah.
You know, what I love about this is we can actually reach people that we were never able to reach before. So I want to encourage you, send out a WhatsApp now with our link, urbanlifechurch.live, or head to our website, urbanlife.org.za. You can send out the links to those people. And often I go, well, what if they say no? And I want to challenge you with the question, what if they say yes?
Come on.
And they find Jesus and hope and life.
Yes.
And so make sure you're inviting people today.
Yeah. And also on that as well, we would love for you to send in your prayer and praise and prayer requests, and we're going to be praying together just after we sing during worship. So make sure you're on the chats down below and you send us your prayer and praise requests.
Yeah, and did you know that you can also do that on email and on WhatsApp? And so those will be popping up on the bottom now, and we'll be doing that in a moment. And hey, if you have kids, again, happy Mother's Day to you. And we've got a special kids experience just for your kids. It's called Ignite Online. You can head to our website, urbanlife.org.za, to check out that program. And we've got some secret agent Mother's Day missions for our kids. And moms, you are going to love what happens today. So make sure that you head there and check out that content. Yeah.
Awesome. So we're going to go sing worship together. So can I encourage you to stand in this moment as we praise Jesus together this morning. Make sure you're standing and you're worshiping along with us. And see you just after that.
Let's do it.
Good morning, church. It's so good to be together this morning. It's so good that we get to come together and we get to praise Jesus. I want to encourage you this morning that let our praise be the weapon that we're using. Let our praise be the weapon that we choose to use this morning. Let's lift our praises. Let's lift our voices. Raise up the volume on your device, on your phone, on your home system, wherever you are this morning. I want to encourage you to turn it up loud, turn up the volume, lift up your voice. Let's praise our Jesus together. Let's praise Him. Come on. Silences the enemy. Let praise be a weapon that conquers all anxiety. Let it rise. Let praise arise. We sing your name in the dark and it changes everything. We sing with all we are and we claim your victory. Let it rise, let praise arise. We'll see you break down every wall. We'll watch the giants fall. We cannot survive when we praise you. The God of breakthroughs on our side. Forever lift Him high. what heaven sounds like. We praise you, we praise you. This is what living looks like. This is what freedom feels like. This is what heaven sounds like. We praise you, we praise you. This is what living looks like. This is what freedom feels like. This is what heaven sounds like. We praise you, we praise you. This is what living looks like. This is what freedom feels like. This is what heaven sounds like. We praise you, we praise you. We'll see you break down every wall. We'll watch the giants fall. He cannot survive when we praise you. The God of breakthroughs on our side. Forever lift him high. With all creation cry, God, we praise you. Oh, we praise you. Oh, we praise you. Oh, we praise you. Oh.
Oh, there's nothing better than you. Oh, there's nothing better than you. Lord, there's nothing. Nothing is better than you. I searched the world, but it couldn't fill me. Man's empty praises and treasures that fade are never enough. Then you came along and put me back together, and every desire is now satisfied here in your love. Oh, there's nothing better than you. Oh, there's nothing better than you. Lord, there's nothing. Nothing is better than you. I'm not afraid to show you my weakness, my failures and flaws. Lord, you've seen them all, and you still call me friend. 'Cause the God of the mountain is the God of the valley, and there's not a place your mercy and grace won't find me again. Oh, there's nothing better than you. Oh, there's nothing better than you. Oh, there's nothing. Nothing is better than you. No, there's nothing better than you. Oh, there's nothing better than you. Oh, there's nothing. Nothing is better than you. You turn mourning to dancing. You give beauty for ashes. You turn shame into glory. You're the only one who can. You turn grace into gardens. You turn bones into armies. You turn seas into highways. You're better than you. Oh, there's nothing better than you, Lord. There's nothing better than you, Lord. There's nothing, nothing is better than you. You're the only one, Jesus. You're the only one. You're the only one, Jesus. You're the only one worthy, Jesus, the only one worthy to be praised. There's nothing better than, there's nothing is better than Jesus, beautiful Jesus.
Man, worship was so cool.
Yeah.
We had a comment come through from Santana on Church Online saying, love that now the worship team is a mix of different churches. And I love that we as Urban Life are a family of churches. We're a Thatchfield, Centurion and Midrand. And this has been such a cool time to come together to collaborate. And man, worship was great. We want to celebrate that.
Yeah, and on that, I just want to celebrate what God is doing in the life of the church. I love the song, the lyrics to that song, like, "There's nothing better than you, God." And we have people that are testifying to that. People have found financial provision through financial peace, and people that are celebrating job provision. And we just want to say thank you to Jesus, because there's nothing better than him. He always comes through.
Yeah, come on. That's brilliant.
Yeah.
And we've actually got some, right now, we've got an opportunity for you to pray with us. And we've got some people that are ready to pray with you. And so if you're on our Church Online experience, it's urbanlifechurch.live, then you can click live prayer now. And we'll have someone that'll pray with you one-on-one. We'd love to support you and encourage you in this time. So click that now and share your prayer requests with us.
Yeah, and we've had some people already sending their prayer requests. And some of those are for job provision and wisdom and guidance for careers. And we just want to take a moment now to stand together and pray to Jesus and trust that we'll see him do what we cannot do in our life. So come on, church, let's stand and pray to Jesus. God, I thank you that there's nothing that is better than you, God. You are way better than our circumstances or what we might be going through. And in this moment, Jesus, I pray for the people that are asking for guidance, for wisdom as they walk this life out, that you would be there and you would be their wisdom and help them through this time. For people that are asking for provision, whether it's jobs, finances, and all those situations, Jesus, we trust you and we know that when we pray to you, there's nothing that you cannot do.
Come on.
There's nothing better than you, Jesus. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Amen. Hey, so we want to take a moment to celebrate our COVID-19 relief fund. And if you weren't aware, we started a relief fund a couple of weeks ago as soon as the pandemic hit, and we're running that through our non-profit organization called Bochabello. And you can still give to that, but we want to celebrate that we have had 350,000 Rand come in.
Amazing.
Come on, you guys are awesome.
Really
and
good.
that 350,000 Rand is helping people like we cannot explain. Just to give you a quick insight, we have between 50 and 100 people reach out every single day asking for financial help or help with food in the season. And we've, because of your generosity, we've been able to help over 200 families in this time. Most families are about 4 people, so that impact is up to about 800 people at this time. And so we want to take a moment to honor you and thank you for that.
Well done.
You know what I love about this time is it's in the greatest times of turmoil that we believe the church can shine the brightest. And actually, you're a generous people, and we're serving a generous God. God. And I want to celebrate that in us and in you. And so if you'd like to take a step today to give, you can click Give Now right now on Church Online, or you can head to our website to find out more details. And that's whether you're tithing, giving to the COVID-19 fund, or Honor for the House. We want to celebrate generosity in this season. And man, we believe this is the church's finest hour. So we want to keep on giving, we want to keep on being generous, and we want to keep on showing off our generous God in this season. Well done.
Yeah. And today we have Gareth Nicholson preaching, and it's going to be incredible. If you don't know who Gareth is, he's married to Amy, and they lead the Centurion family community, and they're part of this Urban Life community, and we love them so much. They're just incredible leaders. So can I encourage you to get your notebooks out and get ready, because it's going to be fire. Literally, he's going to bring the whole house down. So get ready, and we're going to head over to Gareth.
So, Psalm 16, verse 7 and 8, it talks about having a confidence in God. And especially at night when there are thoughts that trouble us. But the thing is, and this is especially for the single moms and for all the parents out there, is sometimes it's not only the thoughts at night that trouble us, but also our kids can trouble us at night. And perhaps you know what I'm talking about, parents. Let me tell you a story from what happened the other night in our home. We were fast asleep, so 1 a.m., we hear this almighty crash in our house, and we wake up with the start wondering what the heck has just happened. And this crash is followed by this pitiful wailing noise, and suddenly we realize it's coming from our daughter's room. So we charge down the passage and we get into her room, and we find that she's fallen out of her bed, but she hasn't just bumped her head on the floor. She's literally like concussed herself. And I think she hit the floor so hard that she just about put a dent in our floor. I don't know how she did it. And her bed is low, but she whacked her head on the floor, and she started to feel nauseous because she was concussed. And in the one hand, we're trying to keep her quiet because we don't want her to wake her brothers up. But anyway, with all the sound going on, her youngest brother woke up, and he thought, well, it's breakfast time now, the day has begun, and he came charging down the passage to see what all the noise was going on. So here on the one hand, we're trying to keep her awake because we've heard it's not good to go to sleep when you're concussed. And on the other hand, we're trying to get him back to bed because it's not good for anyone if he doesn't sleep at night. And in the midst of all of this, we're going, man, these are some of the joys of the parenting season. There's thoughts that trouble us at night, and sometimes it's our kids that trouble us at night as well. And then eventually we got her settled, and we got the youngest one back to bed. And then as the sun started to come up, our eldest came through, and he kind of said sheepishly, Dad, the cat got stuck in our room, in my room last night, and it made a big cat doo-doo on the floor. And I'm mock charging, so please can you come and clean it up? And I'm just like, oh boy. And here Amy and I are doing this parenting journey together. And I just want to give a shout out to the single moms this morning and say, man, you are absolute champions. You are doing so great. So if you are a single mom and you would like this, pop your name into the chat. I see no one has sent through that they want this book yet. Oh, you didn't hear because there was a mic issue. So if you're a single mom, pop your name into the chat. I've got it right here. And as your names come through, we'll get you one of these. We've got a few of them to give away. So single moms, would you do that? So I want to speak to you about unwavering confidence. And I was reading through the book of Hebrews the other day, and I got to chapter 2, verse 1. And there's a verse in there, it goes something like this. It says, and now we must pay even more attention to the things that we heard so that we don't drift away. And I believe this is a time, the season that we're in now, this is a time where there's possibility for us to begin to drift away from the truth that we have held on to. I remember once we were fishing up on the Zambezi River, and if you're from Zimbabwe, you will appreciate this story. We were tiger fishing, and we were in little boats on the river, and what happened is we anchored the boat, or we moored the boat to a tree in the river. We tied a rope around it, and we were fishing there, and over time we were we were really getting into the fishing, and eventually we started just to take a nap in the sun. We were relaxing, and all of a sudden the rope came loose, but we didn't notice what had happened. And slowly the boat started to drift down the river in a small current at first, and then got pulled into a big current. And we were so distracted with just enjoying the time on the river, we didn't actually notice that the boat was drifting downriver. And suddenly, as the current began to pick us up, we got pulled into the middle of the river. Suddenly what happened is we realized that we were drifting and we were no longer anchored to the tree stump that we had tied the boat to. And we looked up and we were headed straight towards this massive pod of hippos. And they were doing that thing where they were starting to like disappear under the water, and that's not a good sign apparently. And I just remember our friend who was the pilot of the boat, he was jumping behind trying to get that engine started because we didn't want to end up in the place where the hippos were. Luckily, he got the engine started and we managed to get out of there before we ended up in some mortal danger. But it got me thinking about drift. And here's the thing about drift is you never notice when you're drifting. At first, you never notice when drift is happening. And drift is something that often takes you to a place of danger. It takes you to a place where you don't want to go. And I really feel like for us, for those of us who've chosen to follow Jesus, this is a time, as the writer of Hebrews says, that we should pay attention to the truth so that we make sure that we don't drift away. Now, before we get into the book of Hebrews, I see that there's a couple of chats come through. So here's the first couple that I have. There's one from Nola. So Nola, we're going to get one of those books to you. And Claire, we've got one for you. Delia, Grace, Mabato, and Corsi, and Francis roll for Elisha. There we go. That's fantastic. Thank you. We will make sure, please chat with our hosts, and we will make sure that you get one of those books. So let's get back to the book of Hebrews. One of the things that I've learned about the Bible is that the teachings that were given in the Bible at that time are still relevant for us today. Another way I can say it is like this. The things that Jesus teaches us, they transcend time. They transcend the trials, they transcend the challenges and the different seasons that we go through in life. In other words, what was relevant back then is still relevant for us today. So something that was written 2,000 years ago, we can still take and apply to our lives today because the teachings of the Word of God transcend time. They transcend any trials or any seasons that we may go through. So what I mean is this is not like a level 4 lockdown message. This is a level 5 to level 0 message. In other words, this is something that you can take and apply to your life in this season now that we are in of level 4 lockdown, but also something that is applicable to your life from here on out. And I'm really trusting and praying that even though we are not together in the same building, that because God is wherever you are, that He's going to do something in your heart today, and that He's going to bring a shift in your life and take you into the more which I believe that He has for you. Now, the thing about the book of Hebrews is it was written to a people that were going through a tough time. So the writer of Hebrews wrote this book really to encourage them, and the essence of the book is this, is to put the focus on Jesus, to live a life in a new way, and to imitate the way that Jesus has lived, and to persevere in that faith. And he spends the first 10 chapters of the book of Hebrews setting up who Jesus is and explaining that Jesus is better than everything that has gone before. He's better than Moses. He's better than the Old Testament sacrificial system. He's building his case and explaining who Jesus is to his writers, encouraging them to keep their focus on Jesus. He spends the first 10 chapters doing that, and then he gets to the middle of chapter 10. That's where we're going to be today. And in this part, he begins to make a link between, because of what Jesus has done, this is the new way to live. So if you have a Bible with you, you can turn with me to Hebrews chapter 10. If you don't have a Bible, you can jump online and you can download the YouVersion Bible app. And on that app, there's a whole lot of different translations. And actually, we've put together all the notes for the teaching today. And you can find those. Our hosts are going to pop them into the chat now. And you can click on that to get all the notes of the things we're going to be speaking through today. And I'm going to read to you from verse 19 of Hebrews chapter 10, read through to verse 26. And this is what the writer says. He says, brothers and sisters, since we have a boldness, and in other words, an unwavering confidence to enter the sanctuary through the blood of Jesus, He has inaugurated for us a new and living way through the curtain, that is through His flesh. And since we have a great high priest over the house of God. You know what? I'm so glad that Jesus is in charge of the church. So even though that the local church buildings might be closed and we can't meet together, Jesus is still in charge of the church, and the church with a capital C is very much open more than ever and is having an impact throughout the world, and people's lives are still being changed because the one who's the head of the church has not changed at all. We have a great high priest over the house of God. So then verse 22, let us draw near with a true heart in full assurance of faith, with our hearts sprinkled clean from an evil conscience and our bodies washed in pure water. Let us hold on to the confession of our hope without wavering. We've been speaking about being unwavering in this season. Let's hold on to the confession of our hope without wavering, since he who promised is faithful. And let us consider one another in order to provoke love and good works, not neglecting to gather together, as some are in the habit of doing, but encouraging each other, and all the more as you see the day approaching. So really what these 7 verses are saying is this: Jesus has opened the way for us to be able to enter into the presence of God with a great boldness and not being worried or concerned about anything. Because Jesus' sacrifice on the cross was perfect, you and I can put our faith and trust in Jesus, and we can enter into the presence of God. So Jesus has cleared the way for us to come into the presence of God. And then he goes on to say, because Jesus has cleared the way for us to enter into the presence of God, there's some privileges that we get. There's a new way of life. And I want to speak about 5 privileges that we have out of this text. So there's 5 things that the writer says. Jesus has cleared the ways that we can come into the presence of God. And then there are 5 privileges that we get. And I believe that as we dig into these 5 privileges, what they're going to help us do is correct any drift that might have occurred in our lives. The first thing that he says is to draw near. Verse 22, let's draw near with a true heart in full assurance of faith. For me, that means to get close to God. To draw near means to come close to God. That's number 1. I'm going to give you the 5 and then we'll unpack them. The first thing is to draw near or to get close to God. That's a privilege that you and I have because Jesus has opened the way for us to come into the presence of God. The second thing he says, let us hold on to the confession of our hope. Let's hold on to something. So we use our bodies or our feet to get close, to move near, and then we use our hands to hold on to something. For me, that's to get a grip. So number 2 is to get a grip. We hold on to something. That's the second privilege that we have. He goes on and he says then, let's consider one another. Really what he's saying is let's get thinking, let's use our minds to discover creative ways to encourage each other in love and good works. So number 3 is to get thinking. So the first one is get close. The second one is get a grip. The third one is get thinking. And then the fourth one, he says, and don't neglect to gather together. That one's a little bit strange at the moment because we're not in the same building at the moment, but we're going to unpack that a bit. And really we can use his words into our context and say this means to get connected. So number 4 is that we get connected. And then the last one, he says, and to encourage each other. Encourage each other. So for me, this is to get a word to give to someone, to get a word of encouragement and to begin to share it. So the 5 things that he gives us, he says, get close. These are privileges that we have. Get close to God, get a grip on hope, get thinking of creative ways to encourage each other, get connected, don't neglect gathering together, and get a word to give. So let's talk about what it means to get close to God. I think, if I think back to high school, there's 2 extremes. The one area was somewhere where I wanted to get close to, and the other one was somewhere where I didn't want to get close to. The one where I didn't want to get close to was going to the headmaster's office. And I don't know if you've ever had that experience where you've been called, you've been summoned to the headmaster's office because you've done something wrong, you've messed up, and now you're in for it, and the headmaster wants to speak to you in his office, and there's that kind of anxiety as you wait outside the office for whatever's going to happen. And then the place at high school where I wanted to get close to was to get home at the end of a term of boarding school. Is on breakup day, there's the excitement and the anticipation of getting home, because at home there's a fridge full of food, there's a safe place, there's all your familiar, and it's just a comfortable place to be in. And I think when it comes to getting close to God, we can be in one of these 2 extremes. We can see God as a headmaster who's angry with us and wants to call us into his office to discipline us and punish us for the things that we've done wrong. Or we can see God as actually a safe space that we want to get close to, like it was for me going home after a term of boarding. And I think that, I know that God is a safe place for us to go to. Because Jesus has opened the way, there should be no fear in us to come close into the presence of God, to get close to God. And I was thinking that there's a whole bunch of stuff that can keep you and I away from the presence of God, that we don't want to get close to God. It's the SANDF, and I'm not talking about our defense force, but I'll give them to you. We can feel shame because of things we've done. So we don't want to go into God's presence because we feel unworthy, or we feel like He's going to be disappointed with us. We can feel angry at God because a situation or circumstance hasn't turned out in the way that we expected, or in the way that we thought that we'd want Him to deal with it. The N is we can have no relationship with God, so we have, in that sense, no desire or no willingness to enter into God's presence. Or honestly, in this season, we can just be so distracted that there are so many other things that keep our attention from getting close to God. Or we can be fearful of God. Is the SANDF. We can feel ashamed. We can feel angry at God, have no relationship with Him. We can be distracted, so our attention is not on Him, or we can be fearful. But my encouragement to you today is to get close to God. If there's some drift in your life, to bring alignment is to get close to God, because it's in the place of being in His presence that we find peace, that we find rest, that we find joy, that we find the strength that we need to carry on moving forward. Now, for you, getting close to God, it may not look like a literal step, as some would say. Actually, the distance between you and God, it's not like the 2 meters that we have in social distancing right now, but the distance between you and God is actually about 0.5 meter. It's the distance between your knees and the floor. And I love that. Is the quickest way for us to enter into the presence of God is just for us to fall to our knees and humble ourselves and come into the presence of God. And the response that we can expect is one of love and grace and mercy. And it's just the best place to be, is to get close into the presence of God. And everything else is founded on this. The first privilege that we have because of what Jesus has done is to get close into God's presence. And then the second privilege that we have is to hold fast to our confessions of hope. In other words, to get a grip on some promises that God makes that are good and true because He is faithful. And I was thinking, what was the thing that I held on to the tightest in my whole life? And I think it's got to be the moment when I jumped out of an airplane going skydiving on a static line jump. So the chute pulls itself. You don't really have to do anything. You've just got to take the step and jump, leap out the plane. But I remember in those few seconds after the chute opened, holding onto the top of the harness so tight, I think my knuckles were going white because I was so scared looking down at the ground. And I'm grabbing onto this thing. I honestly think like my hands nearly broke because I was holding onto this parachute harness so tight. And then after a while, I realized actually the harness is holding on to me, and I can let go of my grip a little bit and just begin to enjoy the ride. So what I want to say to you is, holding on to the promises of God, I think it has less to do with the physical ability that we have or our strength to be able to hold on, and it has way more to do with the decision that we make before we jump out of the airplane in terms of what are we going to attach ourselves to. So for me, the parachute metaphor is kind of more about a mindset that my mind holds on to the promises of God and understands that He is good and true. So in the same way, when you jump out an airplane with a parachute, you hold on with your mind to the fact and the belief that the parachute is actually going to save your life. It's going to bring you down to ground gently, and you're at no risk in that sense. And I believe that that's what it means to hold on to the promises of God. It starts with a decision that we attach ourselves and hold on to the right thing. So it's not how strong we can hold on to the promises of God, but actually the fact that we've decided to attach ourselves to the promises of God. And Jesus makes this promise in John chapter 10, verse 28. He says, anyone that the Father has given me is in my hand, and no one can snatch them away. So I want to say, if you're in a season where you felt like you've let go of some of the promises of God, I want to encourage you that I believe that God holds on to you even tighter than you can hold on to Him. But it's our privilege to be able to be in a space where we take a hold of the confession of our hope and get a grip. And then the third privilege that the writer of Hebrews goes on to, he says, and consider one another. So what he's saying here really is to get thinking, use your mind, and discover some creative ways to encourage love and good deeds in others. One of the things that I've loved about this lockdown season so far is that constraints have brought a huge amount of creativity. You see all kinds of new business models popping up and new ideas, and I think I've been driving my family crazy at home because it's just like a constant stream of ideas. And I say, what about this? What if we did that? What if we tried that? Have we thought of this? And I think that I'd say it like this: constraint is the forge of creativity. Where there's some limits that are placed upon us, it's in those places and spaces that suddenly there's a whole lot of creativity that begins to burst forth. And I've loved to see the creativity even within Urban Life Church, and partnering with Botsabelo, our nonprofit, is the creativity behind the idea of a COVID-19 relief fund that is distributed via e-wallet. And as our host said earlier today, we've had over 350,000 Rand come into that fund. That's your generosity to make that happen. And a huge amount of that has already been given out to several hundred families in need. And I love the creativity behind that. I love the way that we are using online meetings and Zoom meetings and whatever, Google Hangouts and these kind of things, to be able to connect. I don't think I've ever been on so many, in fact, I know I've never been on so many Zoom calls in my life. I've never laughed so much on Zoom, and I've never cried so much on Zoom as I have. I mean, we were sitting with friends of ours this week that were going through a difficult time, and we're just looking at each other over the camera, and they were crying, and Amy and I were sitting next to each other, and we were crying, and we were praying for them during the season that they're walking through. But it's a creative way that we can encourage love and good deeds in one another. And you may feel like, but I'm not really a creative person, or I'm not good at coming up with ideas. And my simplest encouragement to you is just to let the considering of one another, get thinking of how you can do this. Just let it begin at home or within your circle of influence. Just begin doing something with those around you, whether it's a family that's in the house with you or it's friends in your circle of influence. Begin modeling and doing something that is worth imitating. It's a very challenging question to say, what part of your life is worth imitating? And I think there's some decisions that we can make today to do things a little bit differently, where we begin to get thinking of creative ways and discover creative ways of how we can demonstrate love and inspire and encourage others to do the same. In other words, to live a life that is worth modeling. And this is what Jesus did. He lived a life that was worth imitating and worth modeling. And in fact, in John 13, verse 35, he said to his disciples, hey, people are going to know that you are my disciples by the way that you love one another. And the privilege that we have is to be able to use our minds to think creatively and get thinking about how we can inspire love and encouragement in others. One of the things that we are doing as a church that we've started doing is this last Wednesday night it's another creative way, is just to spend some time digging into the Word during online sessions. And as our host mentioned, it happens Wednesdays at 6 p.m. because the reality is that together we grow. And that's the fourth privilege that we have, is not to neglect gathering together, but to get connected or to stay connected. It's very easy in this time to isolate ourselves and to begin to dial out. But actually the words that are used in the text here, when the writer speaks about gathering together, what he means is this is a complete collection. In other words, there's no missing piece in this. Everyone has a part, everyone has a place, and when we are all together, that's when it's a complete connection. And that speaks to you as well, because you have a part and you have a place. And I believe what can happen in the season is we can take a step from being part of the story and step onto the sidelines. In other words, we become a spectator and no longer a participator of what God is doing. But the writer is clear. He's going, guys, don't neglect the gathering together. Now, I know we can't physically get into the same building because of the laws that are in place in our country at the moment, and we are a people who obey our leaders and what they say, whether we like it or not. Those are the laws that are in place, and that's what we do, is we align ourselves to those laws. But there are ways that we can still gather together. So we can do church online. We can do small groups online. We can meet together as our families and pray and worship together. We can use the technology that we have to be able to stay connected. And one of the things that we miss is the coming together on Sundays, those moments of community, and we trust that one day we'll get back there, and we don't know when that's going to be, but the church is very much alive now, and this is an encouragement and exhortation to you, is not to dial out, not to sit back on the sidelines, but to stay part of the story. I really believe that the point of gathering together as the church is not to be entertained, but really what it is to be engaged together in bringing glory to God and engaged together on a mission that changes the world. In other words, there's something that is still happening, and this is a time more than ever to lean in to the story of what God is doing and not just to sit on the sidelines. And then last one, number 5, he says, and encourage one another, even more as you see the day drawing near. In other words, to get a word to give. Get a word to give. Get a word that can encourage somebody else. This is the last privilege that we have, is to get a word of encouragement. There's a lot of negative talk around at the moment, and it's really easy to be sucked into that. It's really easy to become critical, to become cynical, to align ourselves with what's being said in the world about negativity and what it may be. But you know, there's a verse in Proverbs 11:11. It says, by the blessing of the upright, a city is built up, but by the mouth of the wicked, it's torn down. And for me, what that means is, it's by the words that are spoken by the people of God, a city can be built up. But when we choose to align our words with the wicked or with the negative, what happens is actually we can break a city down. And I believe this is a time now more than ever for the Church of Jesus Christ to begin speaking life, to use the words that are in our heart to overflow from our mouths, because Jesus says in Matthew chapter 12 verse 43, it's from the overflow of the heart that the mouth speaks. So whatever's in our heart begins to come out. This is a time for us to get close to God, to get a grip on hope, so that what is in our heart begins to flow out of our mouths and begins to build the nation up. So I believe that as a church, we should be speaking life over our leaders. We should be speaking life over our country. We should be speaking life over our people. We should be careful of the negativity that comes out of our mouths. One of my favorite quotes is by a guy called Bob Buford, and he said, encouragement releases energy, it lifts the spirits, and it makes the impossible seem possible. And this is a time for us to get a word, put it into our hearts, and let it overflow from our hearts. And, you know, I was thinking, as I was putting on my mask this morning, is this mask is here to stop the virus. And we put our masks on because we don't want if we're a virus carrier, we don't want the mask or the virus to spread. So we use these masks. And I was wondering if there's not something in that maybe if the words that are coming out of our mouth are toxic, if the words that are coming out of our mouth are negative, maybe it's in that time that we should keep the mask on. In other words, we keep the virus to ourselves. But if the words that are coming out of our mouth are beautiful and are full of life and are encouraging, then that's the time to take the mask off and to share those words of encouragement. I think it's very telling in terms of what comes out of our mouth too. That's a direct reflection, I think, on how close we are to God in the season. When there's words that are negative, when there's words that are critical, when there's words that are just ugly that are coming out of our mouths, I think there's some drift that's happened, and it's time for us to close that half-meter gap between our knees and the floor and get into the presence of God so that our hearts can be filled up to overflowing with life, and we can begin to speak that out into the city. Now, I know you may not like a lot of what I'm saying today, but honestly, I believe that this is a time for the church to address drift that can happen, because we don't know when drift happens, we don't notice when it's happening, but the writer of Hebrews says to the church then, as he says to us now, be careful of drift. So I got 5 questions for you, and I wrote them down here to make sure that I get them right, and it's a question to do with each of these 5 privileges that we have, and I believe that they will help you to address any drift that may have happened in your life. The first question is this, and this is about getting close to God. The first question is there anything holding me back from getting closer to God? Is there anything in my life now that is limiting my relationship with God? Is there some shame or perhaps some anger or a relationship that has been broken? Is there offense? Is there too much distraction? Is there fear? Is there something that is stopping you from getting close to God? Because you see, these 5 privileges build upon one another. When we are close to God, it's in that place that we can get a grip on hope. When we have a grip on hope, it's from that place that we can get thinking of creative ways to encourage others. It's when we see the value in community that we are driven to and motivated to get connected and stay together. And when we have people around us, it's in that place that we have words that we want to share with others, because if we have no community, then we have no words to encourage anyone with. So these things build on each other, but it all starts with getting close to God. Is there anything holding me back from getting close to God? Second question. When it comes to getting a grip, what am I holding on to? So you write this down and answer it for yourself. In this season, what am I holding on to? Am I holding on to the promise of God? Am I holding on to the words that God has spoken? Or am I holding on to my bank balance or my job security or a person or a hope or a strategy? What is the thing that I have got a grip on? What am I holding on to? Question number 3. And this is to do with thinking of creative ways, discovering ways to love and encourage others. What creative ideas do I have to encourage love and good deeds? Right now, in the space that you're in, what creative ideas and ways do you have to encourage love and good deeds in others? And you don't need to overthink that. You can start at home with your family and those in your circle of influence, just with some small acts of kindness. Model something worth imitating to those around you. Question number 4, and this is to do with getting connected, gathering together, staying connected. And I know we're not gathering together in the same building, but I mean staying connected to the church, to the body of Christ. Are you on the sidelines, or are you part of the story? And maybe there was a time where you were part of the story, but in this last season, it's kind of you're watching from the sidelines. I want to say, if you're finding yourself on the sidelines, it's time to step back into the story, because God is doing something amazing across the world. And Jesus is still the head of the church. The church is very much alive, and there's a role for you to play in what God is doing in the earth. And then the last question is this: are your words building up, or are they breaking down? The words that are coming out your mouth in this season, are they building the country up? Are they building our leaders up? Are they building the people around you up? Are they building your church up? Are they building your small group leader up? Are they building your pastors up? Are they building your family up? Or are they breaking people down? And I would encourage you to give some hard thought to what I was talking about with the mask. Is if the words that are coming out of your mouth are toxic, I would say put the mask on and keep those words to yourself, but get into the presence of God and let Him come and make a shift in your heart, so that He can put some life-giving words in your heart, that they can begin to overflow in the words that come out of your mouth, begin to encourage others. So this is my charge to you this week, is to take 30 minutes, take an hour, take as much time as you need, and sit yourself and God and work through these questions and ask God to bring some alignment to some of the drift, to bring some correction to some of the drift that may have occurred in your relationship with God, in the things that you're holding on to, in the way that you speak, in the way that you participate in what God is doing or not. And I want to close off with this, is the verses that I shared with you, Hebrews chapter 10, verses 19 to 26. Or to 25. They're framed between two verses, verse 18 and 26. And let me read to you verse 18. It says this: now where there's forgiveness of these, the writer is talking about sin. Where there's forgiveness of sin, there's no longer an offering for sin. And then verse 26 is a warning, and it says, for if we deliberately go on sinning after receiving the knowledge of truth, there no longer remains a sacrifice for sins. So both verses speak about there not being a sacrifice anymore. And the first verse says, the first one says that there's no longer a sacrifice required, and the second one says that there's no longer a sacrifice that remains. And what it's talking about is the Old Testament system of a sacrifice that was put in place for the payment or the penalty of sins, to make right with God. What the writer of Hebrews is saying here is when we put our faith and trust in Jesus, He becomes the perfect sacrifice that is applied to our lives, and therefore there are no sacrifices that we need to make, but everything is paid and the way is open for us to get close to God and to live life in a different way. This is the first thing. This is the good news of the gospel, is Jesus has cleared the way for you and me to come into the presence of God. But the second verse, the second part of it at the end, verse 26, is saying, if we choose to reject the truth that we've heard, then it doesn't matter what sacrifice you make, it's not going to be enough. And I say that to finish at this point because there's something of a choice that you have to make and that I have to make when it comes to the truths of the gospel. Remember, these truths are timeless. This is not just something that happened 2,000 years ago and has no relevance, but actually Jesus' finished work on the cross has an eternal significance for all of our lives today. And the question is with us is, how do we choose to respond to that? Do we choose to take the sacrifice that Jesus has made for us and to live in a place where there's forgiveness of sins and we understand that there's nothing else that we have to do to perform for God or impress Him, but we can just run into His presence? Or do we hear the truth and then choose to ignore it and find ourselves in a place where actually no matter what we do, that there's no other sacrifice that is going to bring us the salvation or the fulfillment that we need? I know these are some big questions and some tough things that we have talked about today, but I wanted to encourage you with this, is that Jesus has done everything for you to be restored into a relationship with God. That He doesn't expect anything from you to perform in a certain way, but just to accept His perfect work on the cross, to apply it to your life and to begin to live in a new way and walk in freedom. And perhaps today's a day for you where you can make a decision to follow Jesus. And I'd love to give you that opportunity right now. Wherever in the world you are connecting in from, wherever you may be, God is right where you are at. And this could be a moment where you just close the gap between you and Him by getting on your knees before Him and saying, Jesus, I want to put my faith and trust in your work in the cross and be restored into relationship with my loving Father. And if you would like to make that decision right now, then I want to encourage you to let us know by responding online in the chat or send us a direct message. Click on the button if you're on the Church Online platform so that one of our hosts can connect with you. Because I believe that God has more for you, and that if you have drifted off course, there's hope for you. If you've never known Jesus, that He has a brand new life and adventure ahead that is waiting for you. And that's my prayer, is that you would take a step today that brings you closer into the presence of God. Amen. So just as we wrap up, let me pray. Father, thank you for the truth of your word that is timeless. Thank you that the truths that were written back then are applicable to our lives now. And Holy Spirit, thank you for the work that I believe you are doing in people's lives and hearts all across the world, from wherever they may be listening in or watching in from. And God, I pray that in this moment, as people begin to respond to you, and perhaps take a step of getting on their knees before you, that you will pour out your love and your grace and your mercy upon them, and that you will bring a realignment, that you will bring some hope and refreshing, and that you will close the areas where there may have been some drift. In Jesus' name, amen.
Awesome, man. That was such a great message, and thank you so much, Gareth, for sharing those words. We had tons of comments coming in with people saying that it was such a relevant message and that the questions were so helpful. Even someone from Rwanda saying that it was so helpful. But I love that. We have privileges in this season, and the 5 of them are that we can get close to God. We can, I've got all of them. It's get close. It's such a blank. There we go. Get close, get a grip, get thinking, get connected, and get a word to give. And I love that we have those privileges in the season. I think they were brilliant questions and such a relevant message. Let's rake it into our hearts, and I believe it's going to bring much fruit in the season ahead.
Yeah, and one of the things Gareth said there was get connected, and I love that, because one of the best ways to move from being just an observer to a participator and moving from the sidelines to actually being in the field is to take your next step. So we want to encourage you to be a person that takes your next step. And to do that, you can go to our website at everlife.org.za, and there you will see a tab that says connect, and you'll be able to get connected there to take your next step. and I want to encourage you to do that.
Yeah, come on. And maybe your next step today is to know God, and that's to put your faith in Jesus. Maybe your next step is to discover your purpose. Hey, we've got Starting Point happening today at 10:30, and you can head to our website to be a part of that, to discover more about the church and your purpose. Maybe it's to grow in freedom by joining a small group or one of our addiction recovery groups, or maybe it's to go and make a difference by impacting the world. And whatever your next step may be, you can head to urbanlife.org.za, and we would love to help you to take that step today.
Yeah, and I would also love to invite you to join us on Wednesday at 6 p.m. as Danny teaches through Philippians. Danny Fantondor is one of our leaders here at Urban Life, and he's genuinely one of the best teachers I have ever met, and it will be so helpful for you to join in Wednesday, 6 p.m., so make sure you're there.
Yeah, come on. So we've actually got a fun video we're about to play. In our kids ministry Ignite, we had a competition last week where kids had to film themselves or get their parents to film them and do a spy video. And so we had a ton of people send in their spy videos for a competition, and the winner is, drum roll please, the Pile family.
Piles! Well
And
done.
so we've actually got a Mother's Day message from the Pile family, and we're going to watch a little bit of their spy video just for some fun. And again, a happy Mother's Day to you. We'll see you in the live lounge afterwards, where Rebecca and I are going to be making 1-minute cakes in a cup. Really excited for it. It's going to be good. You can hang out and have some after. How's that?
Can I? Okay, cool. Awesome. Join us for the live lounge and see you there.
Moms make delicious food for our child to give us enough energy for our secret agent mission. Let's go! Moms help us to stay on the right path. Moms help us to get to new levels. Moms make a house a cozy home. Happy Mother's Day! On to the next mission.
Your mission, should you choose to accept it.
But truth and the knowledge of God is under attack again, so there's no time to relax. This time you'll be going to International City.
This stick will self-destruct in 5 seconds.
Let's go!
Hey, welcome back to our live lounge. Thank you so much for sticking around. We're going to have a little bit of fun, and man, it's been such a great morning so far. I think that message from Gareth was amazing. I think worship was great, and it's so cool that we still get to have our online experience wherever you are. Again, we're a people, not a building or a place, and it's so cool that we get to be the church all across the city and all across the world. Why don't you comment, tell us what stood out for you today, what encouraged you today, and what you're going to be doing during the week. And also, just a reminder, you can send through your mom fails while we're making a cake, which we're excited about. And if you send through the best mom fail, we're going to pick you and we're going to send you a prize during the week, which we're super excited about. Hopefully, well, I mean, if you live in like Rwanda, we can get it there, right? I mean, yeah, it's going to be great.
We're gonna make a plan.
What did you think of the message, Rebecca?
It was amazing. It was super challenging, and it's a great message for the season, I think.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I totally agree. Yeah, that's awesome. And just a reminder, we've got Sunday Night Live coming up tonight at 6 p.m. We'd love for you guys to be a part of that. We've got a special Mother's Day episode.
Yeah.
We've actually got a teaser so that you can see what to expect for tonight. So check this out. We've got a song we put together. Actually, Rebecca's the one that mixed this and produced it. Hey, shout out. So check this teaser out for Sunday Night Live.
If it's bad, it wasn't me.
Check it out. All right, so that was awesome. And make sure that you tune in Sunday Night Live tonight at 6 p.m. right here where you are, and we're going to have a little bit of fun.
And actually, we have an interview with Gran from PE.
Yes.
So that is going to be fun.
If you don't know who Gran from PE is, we've been streaming for a while to Facebook and a whole bunch of places. And Craig and Andy Clark lead our family of churches. And Craig's mom, she lives in Port Elizabeth here in South Africa, and she comments every single
She's our top
week.
fan on
She's
Facebook.
our top fan.
Yeah.
So we're going to be interviewing our top fan and getting some wisdom from her. It's really going to be fun.
She's 92 years old.
92.
Yep, and
That's
she's
amazing.
on Zoom and Instagram,
Facebook, she's
WhatsApp.
liking. It's so awesome.
She's way better than a lot of the youngsters. So yeah, she's gonna give us some tips on how to Zoom and how
That's
to use
awesome.
social media.
It's going to be great.
Yeah.
So we're going to make a 1-minute cake in a cup. Do you want to maybe get the flowers out the way so we can get everybody seeing what's going on
Should
here?
I throw it?
Awesome. It's like a
And
wedding
hope for
again. You're
someone
just
to
going to throw the
catch.
flowers. That's awesome. So what we've done is this cake in a cup is actually really easy. I've already pre-mixed some stuff in here. So we've got some flour, baking soda, some sugar, and that's about it. And we're going to chuck it into our cup. This is
I'm
not a
glad
cooking
you always
show.
make these for me,
Hey?
so I don't have to do it.
You can actually go on YouTube and type in like 1-minute cake in a cup, and that's how I found this recipe. So those are all our dry ingredients, and then we're going to need, Bex, can you do a tablespoon of oil in each of our cups? And I'll do a tablespoon of, 3 tablespoons of milk in each one of our cups. So comment, tell us what you enjoyed from the message, and also we'd love to hear about your mom fails. I saw one earlier that was really funny. It said that someone came home and their mom was watching TV while knitting, and they decided to bang on the window outside to give their mom a fright, and then their mom started crying and they felt so bad. So it's such a fail. I thought that was hilarious.
I have
man.
a question. What is a tablespoon? I'm asking for a friend. here.
Asking for a friend. It's the TBSP.
See, my
I think it's
kids
that one.
use.
Yeah, it's that one.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Just a tablespoon, hey?
Yeah, just a tablespoon of oil. You can swap it out.
This is olive oil. This is fancy
I know.
mug.
We don't skimp any expenses here on the Live Lounge.
wow.
Just top quality cooking ingredients for our show.
Nice.
And if you pass me your cup this side, we're trying to social distance here. That's why we're helping each other out. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And we're going to put our milk in. So do you want to give some shout outs there, Bex?
Yeah, let me see if I can actually read that far. So we have the Biagio family. Oh, there's some good stories coming up.
That's
so
brilliant.
I'm not going to actually tell. Because
Can we
they
have
might
someone
win.
turn the TV a little bit? It's a chilled vibe here in the Live Lounge. So,
Yeah.
I mean, if we could turn the TV a little bit, that would be amazing. Then we could check out some comments a little bit better. And all right, so
The Spy movie was really good. I think we should hire them to be in our creative team.
we actually saw. So you're going to give your cake a stir now. We actually had a chat with Sean Pile. That's the dad of the Pile families, and he was the executive producer. And we were like, "Hey, Steven Spielberg, how's it going, man?" He's like edited for so long to get that stuff done. It was awesome.
Yeah.
That was super cool. So let's see who's in here. We've got Deji. The Spy movie was awesome. Yeah, so you've said that. That's cool. Deji family, good to have you guys. So the story here is I was 5 years old, and my family and I were heading out for the day. Just before we left, my mom turned around and told me to quickly go and brush my teeth. Well done, Mom. After I'd finished brushing my teeth, I returned to the lounge and watched my family drive off, with tears streaming down my face and shocked that they left me at home. I'm one of 5 kids. And you are actually the winner. That's your family from Facebook. That's awesome. What a good story. So we're going to be sending you guys a pack. We'll be getting that to you. Just reach out to us in the chat and we'll make sure that we get you a prize. But that's awesome. Have you ever forgot your kids anywhere?
Not yet. Yeah.
High hopes.
Actually, I don't know.
If I did, I forgot.
I forgot.
That's awesome. Cool. So we've now got like a little bit of a batter you can see over there. And now in the batter, this is the best part about it. I put some Milo in this batter. So that's what the like delicious, where can I put this? Oh, I'm just gonna put it here. YOLO. So we're gonna put some nice delicious things inside. So what I'm gonna do, Rebecca, you can decide what you're gonna do, but I'm gonna put some peanut butter and I've got some easy melt chocolate that I'm gonna put inside like a bouse. So literally just like drop it in, bloom, bloom, just like that. And I'm gonna do a tablespoon of peanut butter. Tanya von Sel saying, love the olive oil. That's awesome. Helping people, that's great. Delia is saying, it was gonna be my birthday the next day. I told my daughter, Mom's gonna be older tomorrow. And Nikita was 4. This is Delia's daughter. The next morning she ran to my bed and was stroking around my eyes and said, Mom, you don't have any sprinkles. Whom was 4 when Nikita was 4? That's awesome, you don't have any sprinkles. That's great. Such good stories coming through. Let us know if you guys have ever tried a cake in a cup or if you're gonna give it a bash a little bit later. And tell us if you like peanut butter.
I don't know if I should add some Nutella in.
Yeah, go for it.
Should I just have, I'm gonna try it.
It's gonna be great. Just throw it in.
No, I'm not gonna have it.
Oh.
It's gonna be too sweet.
Okay, I literally threw a whole massive tablespoon.
See, peanut butter is healthy. Nutella, not so much.
Basically,
So-
I'm having a healthy meal.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean,
So
we've
it's
got
a full protein mug.
that's
Cake mug.
straight
Mug in a
up.
cake. Cake in a mug. That's the right way around.
Do you think this is actually where cupcake started and then we changed it later? I feel like this is the real cupcake.
Yeah, I don't know. I also know that you did steal my bigger mug.
Oh, this is your
But
mug.
it's okay because it's bigger.
Thank you, I appreciate it. So this is gonna go in for a minute. All right. And now we just hang out while we wait,
Yeah.
which is really cool. So, Carol, you wanna give some
I'm already
shout-outs there?
doing it, the recipe for mug cake. That is awesome. Tell us how it come. My English today is really bad. It's also on holiday.
Is
Just
it?
because it's Mother's Day,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
like you can have a rest day. I don't know.
Yeah, that is how it works.
Yeah.
How long have you actually been speaking English? Because you grew up Portuguese, right? That's what they speak in Brazil.
Yeah.
They don't speak Brazilian.
Yeah, they don't speak Brazilian. Okay. I came to South Africa in 2010
Okay.
and I could not speak English
At all.
at all. So Kevin was the one sent to pick me up at the airport. So we met in the airport.
And Kevin is?
Kevin is my husband now. Ooh, if you want to find a wife, just go to the airport, but not now. There was no one going to be arriving right there. And then the first thing I told him was, you look very Craig, because I actually knew Craig and Andy.
And Kevin is Craig's son.
Is Craig's son. So that was my first thing.
So the
you
first
look
thing-
very Craig.
The first thing you said to your future husband is
Was
you look very like
Craig.
your dad.
Yeah.
What a beautiful love story, everyone.
Yeah.
And they all lived happily ever after.
Yeah. And we've been married for 9 years, so it
That's
worked.
great. And how's your English journey been? Was it tough at first?
So for the first 3 months, I had a dictionary for the whole time, Actually, Luando, he was my boss because I started editing movies
Oh yeah?
with the creative team and everything. So I always had my dictionary. And the other day I found the dictionary and it is like this little pocket dictionary.
Yeah?
It has a lot of notes, like, okay, you use this here, you use this there. So yeah, so for
awesome.
3 months I had my dictionary.
And you just walked around with it all the time. Was
Yep.
Google Translate a thing?
No, actually, like social media wasn't that big either, which makes me feel so old now. But it wasn't a thing. And internet in South Africa was really bad. So you couldn't find internet, it was capped, so you couldn't FaceTime. There was no FaceTime actually.
Yeah.
There was Skype, and there was Messenger.
Oh, for
Hotmail Messenger. If you remember
Hotmail,
that.
everybody.
Yeah,
Back
Hotmail.
in the day.
Back in the day, it was that.
That's awesome.
So,
That's so cool.
and sometimes I still have to carry my dictionary around.
That's great. Julian is saying, wow, great story, Rebecca. That's great. Tanya is saying, I was about to do it and poof, the power went out. I'll have to try later. Don't worry,
The
Tanya, you can do
power
this
went out.
later.
Sorry about that.
That's brilliant. And oh, here we go. Here's a message about the book. So Francis Rawls saying, good morning. Thank you for the book. My address, okay. we won't
not
read
going to
that.
share that.
My address is blank, blank, blank. So we've actually just pulled this cake out of the cup, this cup out of the microwave.
See?
And check it out, there's a cake inside. Guys, there is a cake inside of my cup.
Also, this cup says relax.
It says relax.
So just
I don't
relax.
know if you can,
eat
yeah, it's a
your
bit
cake.
far, but it says relax. Can I put some
promise it
icing
says
sugar
that.
on top? Oh, because we fancy. Just
No,
a
you have to
sprinkle.
do like this.
Oh yeah,
like-
wait.
Yeah. It's not working.
It's working great. It's all about the look. It's not about how it looks there. It's just how cool you look when you do it.
We love to just tell the single moms that won the books to just check your DMs, and there will be more information about the books.
Show the people they want to see. What is this, like icing sugar bay?
Yep.
So check it out. We've got our cakes in a cup. Mine has got peanut butter and melting chocolate, and yours?
Mine, I don't know what I added.
I think you put Nutella.
No, it was this.
Oh, melting chocolate.
Yes.
Awesome. So I'm gonna see if this is gonna work. Let me give you guys. This is what the people want to see. I know it. I'm gonna dig into this a little bit.
Also, I love this cup, the bunny. It's nice.
Oh, cake in a cup, everybody. I got some peanut butter. Look at that. That is actually, my mouth is watering right now. I'm super excited. You guys ready?
I don't have a spoon to eat.
We've got there we go.
Or
Guys, put peanut butter in your cake in a cup. Make sure that you do that.
I want to see the
It's
middle.
good. It's like peanut butter inside. And
See, my
chocolate.
middle didn't get. Oh,
so
I'm
good.
jealous. And now we can't share.
That's the point. Awesome, guys. So I want to remind you again to head to Sunday Night Live tonight. We're going to have a whole bunch of fun. We've got some Mom's Day themed games. We're playing a game called Sound Effects, which is really going to be cool. A whole bunch of really exciting things happening. So really want to encourage you guys to head over there. And yeah, thanks for commenting. Thanks for tuning in. Really appreciate that, which is so great. Do you want to remind us about the kids' mission?
Yeah, so just remember that we do have the kids program.
Yeah.
That's it. And there's a competition going on as well for mothers. So just check it out.
Yeah,
and
it's gonna be cool.
it stays for the whole week, right?
Yeah, so the content stays for the whole week, and there's like these secret missions that the kids are going to do to spoil you moms. So make sure that you check that out, because moms,
Yeah.
you're going to be spoiled.
I'm curious now. I want to go home to see if I'm going to be spoiled too.
It's going to be great. Awesome, guys. I've been Warren. This is Rebecca.
Yeah.
And we want to thank you so much
My
for
whole
tuning
life.
into the Live Lounge. You want to say bye?
Bye-bye.